called?
All right, I'm Pharaoh Campbell. This is Art History 300. Here with a professional artist, and so we are doing a video interview. So I'm going to start with the questions. So the first question is, what is your name?
My name is Darnell Hortan. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. And that's where I was raised, and I went to high school in Philadelphia, High School of Creative and Performing Arts, which was, it's almost like the connections I made there. Even though I was so young, I still interact with these people, and we still network with each other, and we still send each other money and, jobs, and just brainstorm sometimes, just call each other just to chop it up.
So yeah, from Philly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Top people from Philly.
City of brotherly love.
That's what they say. That's what they say. That's what they say.
So, what's the name of your art studio?
Oh, One and Only Arts.
One and Only Arts.
One and Only Arts. I'm the one, and you're only gonna see this stuff here with me. Simple as that.
Yeah, we're gonna get into some of these pieces later. Some of these pieces are bananas.
And see, that's the reaction I want. I want it to be compelling.
Right. So, how long have you been in this studio?
About maybe a little under a year. I always, set my clock 15 minutes forward, so I'm gonna be late anyway. So, might as well, give myself some cushion. But we've been here for a little while, and I got a lot done in a little short amount of time. But the finished ambiance here is going to be like, I'm gonna have bean bags all over this place, so anybody can just cop a squat anywhere. My father-in-law built me a stage so we can have some performances here, whether it be musicians, poets. The sky's the limit, I got a friend of mine that's going to do my lighting for me.
Right.
It's going to be hot. It's gonna be real hot. I don't want this just to be, I have other artists up in here. Now I want this to be like the hub, where people come, and the more and more I network, they're gonna come here to, get a taste of something fresh.
Right, something good.
Yeah.
Okay. So how long have you been in the art industry?
I fell in love with art when one time remember that old math paper that looked like it was recycled? It was like kind of gray.
Yeah.
It ripped if you try to erase it.
Yeah.
But I drew the G.I. Joe, the bad guys is called Cobra. And I drew the Cobra jets, I drew them, and I was excited, The teachers, everybody was like, oh my God, this guy, you're talented.
Right.
And when I took it home to my mother, man, she showed everybody on the block.
Wow.
She showed everybody, look what my baby can do. And that was just like, I was like, man, if I could do that, that was...
That was one of those Brooklyn blocks. Because, we in Sacramento.
It was one of those, it was weird. Back then, I was a young boy, so you figure I was in first grade, second grade. But I can remember it clear as day. And it was a Brooklyn block. She showed everybody. And then I was doing history posters for people. The whole block. Darnell you need some names done, go Darnell, on a low, I was even forging people's signatures.
Wow.
I was that good. Like, if you showed me, I could copy it. And that was in the beginning. That was just hall passes. I was 25 cents, I'll make a hall pass for somebody because I knew the teacher's signature.
Wow.
That's how, that's when it clicked. Like, that tension my mom gave me that one time. It stuck with me for life, and I still,
How old were you then?
Like I said, first grade, I couldn't have been no more than 5, 6.
5, 6, wow. Yeah. So, you gotta elaborate a little bit on those Brooklyn blocks, because a lot of kids, especially from Sacramento, they don't really, so you're not from Harlem, so you always gotta try to explain to people in Sacramento,
it is mad love, man. We had block parties. I'll tell you this is a good, what they call it, analogy, right? If I was down the block and I was cussing, back in the day, we talking like 80, 81, 82, and I was down the street cussing, Miss Thomasina, she beat me a couple times, you know what I'm saying? She did. Miss Thomasina lived at the end of the block, and that's where we did all our dirt. That's where the crate was at. You know, that's where we played football at because cars couldn't only come down one direction. And that's where we played where the water plug was at. So Miss Thomasina was like the mama snitch. You know what I'm saying? But she wasn't just a snitch. She ain't gonna just tell your mom. She gonna beat you.
Right.
And then she gonna call your mom and you gonna get a beating at your crib. And then hopefully my pop wasn't in the middle of the block because he don't like that, you know, with stay in the house, it's supposed to stay in the house. So if anybody from down the block had the chest tied, that's like, you know, from a 3-minute behind whooping to a 12-minute behind whooping. You know, you can't go to gym. You know, you gotta be unprepared for gym because you got wets all on your legs, you know what I'm saying? That wasn't, you know, that was common practice. But you didn't cuss. Like it was community, man. It was real community, man. I miss that. I really miss that, man. You know, where people don't, you know, can't nobody just sneak in your house when you gone. You know, you ain't gotta pay nobody to stay in your house because your neighbor's gonna be like, yeah, they don't belong there. We going to see what they doing over there. You know what I'm saying? It was all the old heads, check the young bulls. You know, it was community. You know what I'm saying? When you went in your house, you wasn't free. You wasn't free. Oh no. Miss Thomasina had some quick hands and she was stealthy. Miss Thomasina would come out of nowhere. She had a duplex, so she had the front door, the side door, the back door. And then she had a little garden back there, so she would sneak around the garden and come behind the little water plug. Miss Thomasina was a beast. One love, word. She's still alive. She still cook chicken. She cool. It was mad cool back then. It ain't.
So I think this is definitely fitting because you know you went from Brooklyn to Philly, and you went to performing arts school in Philly. And out here in Sacramento, but I think you also...
Well, I went from Philly to San Antonio, Texas, because I joined the Air Force.
Right.
And then that brought me to California, which that was my agenda, was to get to California. And the Air Force I was smart enough, and that was the way I was going to get over here. And at the same time, set myself up. So if I do stumble back, I still always got that to fall back on, you know what I'm saying, like a trade. You know, back in the day, old heads had trades. You know, men had trades, you know. And I have plenty of trades under my belt. Like I don't have to really stress about getting work or anything like that because I got hustle, you know. Right. And hustle is what makes it, man.
Right. Right. So of all the areas that you lived in, which area would you say most influences your artwork?
Well, I don't think it's an area now because I've seen a lot more than the average, you know, person from Brooklyn or where have you. I mean, I've been all over the world, so, you know, my perspective is, you know, the stuff I used to draw about or some of the messages they're worldwide things type now. You know, I don't just put labels on stuff, but if you look at it, you know, maybe not the first time, maybe not the second time, but the third time, when you have a sleep rubbing your eye, you're gonna be like, what the? Damn, we stuck that in there like that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I like that. I really like that.
Right. I'm looking at now like the pyramids and the Washington Monument and all.
And see, when when it's finished, all that stuff will be so disguised.
Right.
And that's when, you know, I play with the light and I like a lot of big, bold colors because I'm a bold guy, you know what I'm saying? When I come down the street, I'm coming at you like, yo, you know what I'm saying? What's up?
Right.
You know, it ain't no, that's the way you had to be where I'm from, you know, it ain't no, you know, men stood up straight, you know, men had backbones, you know what I'm saying? No matter what, you know, what stayed home, what happened in the house, stayed in the house.
Right.
You know,
right.
You know, we'll get back to it though, because I think the younger kids are way smarter.
Oh, they're a lot smarter.
Yeah, like that stuff that the kids did in Egypt. Those are all youth, those are young people, and they use technology to rap, Revolution. Televised. Internet. Oh, what CD was that on?
That was
Scott Heron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, he recently passed away too.
Did he?
He did, this April.
Man, I love it. I'm gonna have to do him. I'm gonna have to do a tribute.
Yeah.
This is a man with the name of the CD.
I'm gonna have to do a tribute on that.
Yeah.
Because I have that song, I just don't have the CD.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Oh, you know, they got YouTube now.
Dude.
Yeah, so, yeah. So, who are some, inside the art industry, like, who are some of the people that inspire you or influence your work?
I mean, anybody. Anything can inspire me. I mean, it don't have to be an artist. It could be, you know, I'm really getting into more and more meditating and stuff. You know, it's a lot. Okay, just say it like this. If I was going to do a mural, right? Maybe 3 years ago, I probably would have did celebrities. You know, Will Smith, you know, people that people know. Now, I probably would paint people from that neighborhood. You know, it's, you know, beauty is everywhere. It's not just those, the glitterati, you know, they're not the most beautiful people. You know, about them little, you know, there's chocolate bunnies in the hood. You know, there's white bunnies in the white hood, you know what I'm saying? It's beauty everywhere. Why just those people shine, you know, why the light spotlight is just, you know, spotted on them, and it's not right, and I'm, you know, I'm changing. My small part.
So, what would you say compels you to do the artwork that you do?
That time my mom got so excited that I could draw so good. And she said, just keep practicing, baby, you're gonna get better. And I keep getting better. I surprise myself every time I create something. I mean, that same moment, it's like one of my warmest feelings. You know how they say, revert back to, for people who have panic attacks and stuff, they say try to revert back to your, you know, calmest, happiest moment. That would be like my calmest, happiest moment, where some people can't remember, you know, or can't even conjure up or imagine something like that. You know, I'm thank God I have that moment to fuel me.
So, what type of impact do you hope to leave on the art industry? Or just on society in general?
When I'm gone, they just be like, that he's a bad motherfucker. You might have to edit that, but that's what people gonna say when I'm done. They're gonna be like, Darnell, he do everything. It's nothing this cat don't do. He's off the meat rack. He's all the great names. Like, it's gonna be ugly.
So, I guess that would be make it fitting for this question. So, what kind of work do you do? How would you describe the work you do?
I mean, the gambit. I mean, okay, I'll start from most recent and go backwards, right? Right now, I'm learning how I got an apprenticeship on restoring antiques. So, back from there, I mean, I sculpt, I paint. Everything's freehand. Everything's from off the top. I silk screen. I airbrush. I mean, the only let's say medium I haven't really learned and gotten into, and it's only a matter of time, is welding. And eventually I'll get into that, and I'm gonna take that to another level. But right now, I wanna really push my sculptures. You know, push the envelope. You know, I haven't done anything taller than maybe 3 feet. You know, right now I'm working on a chessboard. I'll show you the pieces. I'm making a chessboard. This is one of the pawns. You check it out. It's already fired. Just be gentle, this baby. But that's a pawn. So the chessboard itself is going to be 6 feet by 6 feet. And you know, if that's a pawn, I'm guessing my king will be, and my queen will be about that tall.
Wow.
So that's one of my endeavors. Yeah, it's a serious chessboard. It's going to be one of a kind. You know, that's it, just one of a kind. Maybe I'll donate it to a museum or something.
Wow.
You know, I don't even think I'll sell it, because I want to be able to go see it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like babies to me. And maybe when I have babies, real babies, maybe I'll be able to sell it. I like money too, you know? I like steak too, right?
Right. And potatoes.
And potatoes, you know what I mean? And potatoes. Those some of them little, what's the little, they look like spears. Those some of them things.
Asparagus.
Yeah, asparagus. Throw some of that in there.
Yeah,
some butter on the back.
I eat that too. Okay. So, since you do all these different things, silk screening, painting, sculpturing, are there any consistent themes or hidden messages in your artwork?
I'm not a sneaky person, so I don't necessarily try to hide it. I mean, if you pay attention, which that's like one of my biggest things, you know, people just have to really pay attention, you know, because you know, when you're spoon-fed information and, you know, when something happens, then you lost in the sauce, and all you can say is, well, he told me. I mean, that's whack. That's crazy whack. You know, you got people who shop off mannequins.
Right.
You know what I mean? Look at the commercials. Look at the I think it's Old Navy commercials, right? They basically calling people dummies. Think about it. They don't even splurge to put real people in their videos and their commercials to sell their clothing.
Right.
Because people are dummies. They're just gonna come in and pick whatever's off the mannequin anyway.
Right.
So I try to go the opposite. You know, not saying I ain't. You know, I'm against the system. The system is the system. I was in the Air Force, and I believe everything that I was told in the Air Force, and it seemed right. And actually, I got schematics on how it really goes. So it opened my eyes up even broader. You know, it's a machine. America is a machine. It's a business. And if you're not, you know, you got to get on board because they're gonna start, you know, just like the brain does. Start pushing people to the side. I mean, it's real. They've done it before.
Right.
I try to tell my brothers, they're doing it now. You know, I told my brothers, I mean, they love jail. I don't understand that, you know. I don't like smelling my own shit. What makes you think I want to smell somebody else's?
Right. Yeah, it's tough. You know, it's tough. Right? I'm doing a paper right now on that.
And that's all. It's crazy, man. And then if you listen to him talk, like I had a debate. Well, I almost had a debate with my brother. I was an MP at the time. He actually was getting legal advice from the person that was in the cell next to him. I said, hold on, bro. Who are you talking to? Oh, my cellie. I'll talk to you later.
Does any of this kind of stuff ever make it into your artwork?
Oh yeah, all the time. All the time. It's in their eyes. Everything is in the eyes. People will tell you everything in their eyes. I learned that a long time ago because my mom used to tell me a whole lot of stuff with her eyes. Don't get. She was funny.
So what are some of the typical reactions to the first time viewers of your artwork? Like how do they respond?
Wow. Damn.
I didn't know you were an artist.
Yeah, a lot of times they don't know I'm an artist.
I didn't know you were.
Yeah, I didn't know you're an artist.
What
Usually awe, usually like, wow, bruh. Man, you know, that's deep. And it's not. It's not really deep. I mean, it's not that deep. It's like right on the surface. You just have to be looking, you know.
Right.
But when most people want to be spoon-fed everything.
Right.
You know, my mom's, you know, I was come from a school where, hey mom, what's this mean? Go look it up.
Right.
And then come tell her. So she'll know. You know what I mean? That's what we gotta get back to.
Learn something, teach something.
Seriously.
Each one teach one.
Exactly. Exactly. That's how you be from the same school. You know
that's
what I
how
mean?
we was raised.
Yeah.
Each one teach one. Go learn something. Come back and show them what you
Exactly.
learned. Yeah. So, how much has technology influenced or hindered your work in any way?
Well, I used to be against technology, you know, computers and stuff like that, but it streamlines a lot of stuff. And it, you know, a lot of the steps I had to take, it's eliminated all the other steps, so it's just 2 steps now. Mm-hmm. And it really helps with silk screening and taking a hand-drawn design and making it print ready. You know what I'm saying? Because the machine I use is, I've done the emulsion ways and all that, and the costs and the time. It's just not, right now, it's just not feasible financially for me. So I have this, I have a friend of mine that has a machine that basically turns my design into a negative. So when I silk screen it, it's a positive. So it's real sweet. It's expensive, but it's like $5 cheaper than me doing it the emulsion way.
Right.
Yeah. So it works good. It works real good.
Are there any untouchable areas or type of work that you don't do and why?
I don't like to copy people's stuff. I don't, you know. Like, you know, a lot of people want me to, you know, they don't really care or what, you know. Yeah, I could do that, but I was doing that when I was 5, 6. The Sunday papers, you know, that's how I learned how to do it. And, you know, if they sing just one of my pieces of artwork, they know I'm not copying, or they should comprehend that I'm not copying cable breakers anymore. There are plenty of artists out there that can do all that stuff. Matter of fact, when you buy an airbrush kit, they give you a CD to show you how to do all those. You know, carbon copy, you know, Mickey Mouse, Tweety Bird, all that stuff. I'm beyond that. I don't have to do that. I'm better than that.
Right. So, this is kind of a play on some questions we had earlier. What would you say your strongest techniques or style or production capabilities are? I know you listed all these things you do. Which one would you say this one right here is like?
Well, my strongest?
In your opinion?
I think it's just me being able to absorb information and then break it up. And like my favorite part of creating stuff is me taking this information, and let's say like the tree, the way the tree is growing, and I want to incorporate that into something else that I absorbed. And in my head, I can just break it up. You know, it just breaks up and then it comes back together. And then all I have to do is put it on paper. That's the best part. How I absorb information and how I regurgitate it by itself and just comes out. You know, because all these are, like this painting, it's just, matter of fact, even like this. This is one of my newest ones. This is One and Only Last Supper. And basically, all these characters are a piece of me. I mean, you know, it's my nose, it's my cheekbones, it's my ears. And most of the facial expressions are facial expressions that I would make or gesture, you know. Basically, this is me having you know, a supper, you know, or Last Supper, basically, with myself. And, you know, the Messiah and stuff. I was thinking about making a series of these, but just taking, like, see, okay, so I saw the different, a couple of different artists that did Last Suppers, right? You know, I took it in, and then this is what came out. So all that information that I, you know, gathered from their Last Suppers, I just made my own. And this does, you know, this just breaks it apart.
So how long does something like this take to make?
Total 12 hours.
And you just sit down and just do it straight through?
Sometimes. Most of the inking, yes, because markers change on you. You know, a marker could be going great to about here, and then it'll change on you, and then trying to find that same marker, and then even another Sharpie might not lay the same way on it. It's all a process, and that's the fun part about it. Like my boy Bob Ross, you know, he made it fun. You know, you're not just painting a scene. You know, he's building each character in that scene by itself. You know, he just had his approach was very. I took parts of his approach.
So, what are your thoughts on working on more than one piece of artwork at a time?
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah, like this piece.
Be careful, have a seat. Can we get that piece down there too?
Yeah.
In the window?
Well, this piece, this is, this piece I did after having a conversation with my youngest brother, and he was talking about 40 acres and a mule. He was waiting on 40 acres and a mule. You know, I almost, well, I didn't laugh because it pissed me off really, but it was like one of those mixed feelings. Like I kind of want to laugh, but it's my brother,
right?
And he's really talking real stupid right now.
And he's being for real too.
And he's being dead serious, you know. And I was like, it's made me sad. You know, it really made me sad that he really, you know, he really feels like that.
Right.
Like he's waiting for somebody to give him something. And so I did this, and this is just kind of like. I use, you know, brown, you know, art people for the most part wallowing in this hood ghetto mentality, you know, ignorance is bliss. That's BS. I mean, welfare's gonna be gone soon. You know, and they don't know it, and they're gonna be lost.
They're already lost.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I got family that's still there, so my heart, you know what I'm saying.
I got family here too.
That's how this, that's what my brain articulated, and that's how I got it out of my system. But moving on. This is for my my t-shirt, my t-shirts, and this is my logo. This is this is going to be my flagship logo. Like when I finally have an office, when they come in, they're going to see a giant one of these. This is the first thing you're going to see, and I don't know if I'm going to put it in glass. I might, depending on what I make it out of, but I'll probably make it out of porcelain. This is going to be it. This is just a empty jacket, and it goes back to that Old Navy thing, the Old Navy commercial, because it really pissed me off. It's like that's not even a slap in the face. That's like a drop kick to the face by Bruce Lee. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just to really, and they keep making these commercials like, it's a new one like every 2 weeks.
Right.
And, and then I see in regular commerce, that's what everybody's wearing.
Right.
And it's sad. It's really sad. You see 5, 6 girls walking down the street and you can't tell them apart. Right. Their hair's the same, their clothes are the same, they've got the same sneakers on. Got the same phone a lot of times out of time. But,
all of them got phones.
Yeah, that happened. I remember, you remember.
When everybody was the original.
You know what I'm saying? People would go back in the house, people would run back in the house and change on Easter because somebody had something similar. Remember when
I would leave school, you wore the same thing I had on?
Yes, the first day of school, right?
Man, you might
any day, really?
You might get jumped.
You might get jumped. I don't really know who the guy was. Yo, man, you can't have that. What are you doing? Or step on your sneakers.
Man, that'll start a fight.
That was a serious fight, but now, I guess you don't have that problem anymore, but competition is good, it's healthy. I hear a lot of artists say they'll say stuff like, oh, it's not really about, to them, everybody's entitled to their opinion. It's not really about the competition and all that stuff. To me, I want to be the best. I want to be the absolute best. When I meet another artist, I'm trying to absorb whatever he's willing to give me, and I don't mind sharing. Because I'm sure he's going to put the work in that I put in. You know what I mean? He's not going to think about it three nights in a row like I do it. You know what I'm saying? And he's not going to render it like I can do it. So even if we sat in the same room and did it, side by side, his mind would still be there, totally different. And I used to be, not confident, and I have to be, I am that good. I mingle with a lot of artists. It's good, it's healthy. Any type of artist, whether it's a musician or not, because our process is very similar. But now, you can't even buy new music. It all sounds the same, and it sucks. I'm just waiting. I'm gonna just keep plugging and plugging and plugging and plugging, because nobody in Sacramento has my style. I'm fresh. Every most people see it, they be like, oh, that's really urban, because that's the only reference that they have.
Right.
Little do they know, I've been all over the place, man.
Right.
And I'm trying to go more places. I want to go more places.
Right.
With the art and as far as giving it to the world, and the internet just makes it that much easier. I don't gotta buy no plane tickets. You know what I'm saying? So my wife actually helped me in that, in that aspect, getting into the computers and music and making it a powerful tool on my side.
Right. So we're gonna wrap up. I want to ask one last question. So I do have some hidden messages, some things and everything that I do. And one is, I don't really believe in dimensions of time. So I believe that we all, we exist all the time.
Yeah.
Whether you want to choose to believe that or not, that's up to you. Also don't believe in money, capitalism, and we have to always have this money
It's a religion now.
to everything we need. And sometimes that whole thought and that belief is what actually hinders us from really doing what we want to do. So if time wasn't an issue, if money wasn't an issue, what are 3 things you would create?
I would make giant statues of what I thought God looked like until I got it right.
we all giant.